Yeah, let's go. Yeah. We came a long way. That's what the song say. And I could do all things.
It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Titans and the Broncos coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Tennessee Titans. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD. You think about our quarterback matchup here. We got a couple of guys who are definitely dangerous when you get down near the red zone. Ryan Tannehill and Russell Wilson.
And you used the perfect word there, Brandon, dangerous. Yeah, they're dangerous just about anywhere on the field, but the red zone, that's where they absolutely excel, and I think it's because they can keep defenses off balance. You know they can run, you know they can pass. The RPOs come into play. But the biggest thing is when the pocket breaks down, they can create something out of nothing and sting a defense.
And off we go from Denver. This fielded right at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a 7-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his 10th NFL season now. That's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Wilson. toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
If you're not.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Fighting him off. And a good stiff arm and some space to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Williams uses the stiff arm. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. 315.
Now a toss left side. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll run it with Williams. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Javonte Williams. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Come on now, let's go.
Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
And one of the things that has really impressed me about Ryan Tannehill has been his perseverance. Early in his career, didn't have the success that he desired. had some injuries that slowed his development. But he kept working at his craft, and now he's a guy that I think you can put a game on his shoulders.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money, because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start, both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing is Wilson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by McManus is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. It's picked up by the Broncos. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. To throw is Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This a 33-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Derrick Henry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Second and 7. Tannehill. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
All day, baby.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it, but it looked like the Titans were able to roll. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 1st down, Wilson. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Pick, baby. You see it all day. Pick it.
You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And that'll make it 13-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception. navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. KJ Hamler returning it. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson. They're looking for Jeudy, but it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
A time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Tannehill. And that'll be caught by Dez Fitzpatrick. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, Tannehill. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Woods. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Back to throw, Tannehill. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And the Titans are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On second and goal, Tannehill. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Des Fitzpatrick in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans are just an extra point away from moving out in front.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. So now this to get themselves a lead here heading into the break. And this puts them on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Hamler now to return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Titans in that first half. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go!
The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, But I think they told him, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Second half begins with a run by Henry. And he stopped immediately there. Michael O.J. Mudia with the tackle. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a two-score game, and they're probably on their way, creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now it's Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Wilson. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Following the penalty, it's Williams. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 2nd and a long way to go. Wilson stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Wilson. Flush to his right. And he will slide down with a good gain. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there. No return. And it'll be Titan football. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. Now he steps away, and he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tannehill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver's offense ready to go again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That's the way to do your thing, man.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll hand it off now. Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the Titans are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time, and that's another great play to come away with the football.
Tennessee offense set to go again. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Tannehill. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Tannehill. Airing it out deep for Woods. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense now set to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they've got to go thank the guys on D.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On the counter, here's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Wilson. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And fights through one man. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Henry again on 2nd down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. Well, a clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. 1st down and much more for Henry. And finally brought down at the 38. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Henry. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35.
That's it, baby.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. Tannehill now to throw.
He'll get this complete to Fitzpatrick.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a one-point victory. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout. Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game? No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked. It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.